Good evening and welcome to this month's edition of the Southside Song of the Month. We take this time once a month to share with you some of the songs that have been a blessing to us as a congregation and some of the songs that we have really enjoyed in our fellowship. This month, considering and in recognition of where we are as a nation of Kenya, we've decided to share with you the national anthem, the Kenya National Anthem, which has become an integral part of our worship. We do this for two reasons. We recognize that Kenya stands at a crossroads, and the clamor for good governance and the cry for justice are from many Kenyans are an inspiration for us to continue to remind ourselves of the words of our national anthem as a prayer first, and secondly, as a clarion call to action. The words of our national anthem are a beautiful, beautiful prayer over the nation of Kenya. They begin by saying, "O God of all creation, bless this land and nation." This is a recognition and a submission that God indeed is the one who blesses nations. He is the one who causes nations to prosper. And our nation finds itself at this crossroad where we are wondering whether we can prosper in terms of good governance, and many people have become impoverished by some of the systems that our government has put in place. We pray this way because we recognize very deeply in our faith that it is God who causes nations to prosper, and it is God who will cause the nation of Kenya to prosper. If you have seen what has happened with our politics, the politicians we have trusted for so long to bring about development, and those who have promised to bring about development to the nation, have failed astronomically to deliver on the promises that they made. In fact, so many times backtracking on those very promises. It is just the reminder that in God that we put our faith and trust, and not on man, because man will fail. The Bible in Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 18 reminds us that it is God who gives us the strength to prosper. It is God who gives us the strength to create wealth. And so it is our encouragement from here at the Southside that as we sing these words of the national anthem, let it be a prayer that reminds us that God is the source of our prosperity, and let the words of our national anthem encourage us to put our trust in God and not in our politicians. But the second thing the national anthem reminds us is that the national anthem is in itself a call to action. That together with praying, we can play our part in making our systems of governance work for us, but also play our part in contributing to the prosperity of our nation. It says, "Amkeni ndugu zetu" in the second verse. Let one and all arise. Amkeni ndugu zetu, tufanye sote bidii. And it continues to say, nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, tuwe tayari kuilinda. I don't see any greater or grander call to action than these words of the national anthem. And it's not just about action that leads to protest. It's not just about action that leads to dissent. It's about each one of us doing our best and continue to do our best to make our contribution to the building of the society that is Kenya. So wherever you are, may the words of this national anthem remind you to put in a little more effort, knowing that every effort you put contributes to the building block of our society. But it is also a call to do the right thing wherever you are. Resist every temptation to be corrupt. Resist every temptation to cheat yourself, or to find your way around things by cutting shortcuts. But to do this building of the nation with diligence, with honesty, and with integrity. It also says, "May justice be our shield and defender" in the first verse of the national anthem. Let justice be our shield and defender. That means that we contribute to the process of justice. We contribute to the process of making sure that every Kenyan citizen is treated justly and is taken care of. So we have a role to play. We have a role to play in praying for the nation of Kenya, as we recognize indeed, as we have said, it is the God of heaven who causes the nations to prosper. But we also pray these words of the national anthem to keep reminding ourselves that we as a citizen have a role to play in building the nation. The politicians and leaders may fail us, but it will be worse if we fail ourselves and forget this invitation by the national anthem that we would do our best for our country. So wherever you are, my fellow Kenyan, let this be your prayer over the nation, that the God of all creation, the God of heaven who causes nations to prosper, will cause our nation to prosper in every sphere of life. But secondly, that same God who gives our hands the strength to create wealth and the strength to do justice will help us to make our contribution with our work diligent, honest, and work of integrity, to make our contribution to the development of our society. Mungu nguvu yetu, ilete baraka kwetu. May the Lord bless you.
Mungu nguvu yetu, ilete baraka kwetu, haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae na undugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi. Amkeni ndugu zetu, tufanye sote bidii, nasi tujitoe kwa nguvu. Nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, tuwe tayari kuilinda, na tujenge taifa letu. Ndio wajibu wetu. Kenya istahili heshima, tuungane mikono pamoja kazini, kila siku tuwe na shukrani, kila siku tuwe na shukrani, kila siku tuwe na shukrani.